It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here back once again with the very talented Scott Page, the CEO of Think EXP. He's got some really cool updates coming at you. And of course, as we talked earlier on the Mike Wagner Show, he's been a saxophonist and multi-talented musician with Pink Floyd, Supertramp, and Toto. We talked about all his cool experiences. And Scott, if you want to relive that experience too.
Yay! I'm here with Mike Wagner.
That's right. Yay. Yeah.
Hi, Mike Wagner. How are you doing? How are you doing, buddy, through all this wildness?
Hey, we're just doing great. You know, we'll talk about the benefit for Australian Wildfires, the Who's Who of Rock, and, of course, New Orleans Jazz Festival. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're just cutting through the red tape and just imagining everything. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of Think EXP and the very super multi-talented Scott Page.
Yay! Yay! Hey, I'm so excited to see him. Hi, buddy. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, and so happy to see you as well, too, and thanks for coming back, and I've been wanting to have you back on for quite some time. This is a perfect opportunity.
Let's do it. I mean, listen, we're all at home now, right? We're in a perfect place, so I've got plenty of time to talk today. No problem.
Oh, that's right. Yes, we got plenty of time. And, of course, you're the current CEO of Think EXP. You played saxophone for Pink Floyd, Supertramp, and Toto and more. And just tell us about your music career with the three groups and also a quick summary of you being CEO of Think EXP before we get to what you're going to talk about today.
Wow. Well, let's see. It's been a great ride. I cannot complain. It's been an incredible ride. Had to, getting to play with some of the greatest bands in the world, clearly a lot of my favorite musicians. And so I kind of pinch myself all the time saying that, wow, how did that happen? I got the luck of the draw, right? So I had a great time all those years. And, I'm very excited about what we're doing at Think. My background has really been more not just about the music, but really on the business side. I love business just like I love music and love to play, love, the entertainment business. But the new models have shifted so much, since the kind of the music can't be sold anymore. We can't sell music anymore. So what do we have to do is we got to try to come up with new models. And really where the money is really in the experience now. The two things an artist can sell is the relationship and the experience. So Think Experience is an immersive entertainment company. And we've been doing a 360-degree immersive show inside of a 360-degree dome in downtown Los Angeles. We've done probably 40 shows in there now, pretty much sold them all out. It's been a crazy ride. Love the whole idea of this new experience because, we're at a point where we have so much music. I got people sending me music every day. Everybody can make music now. There's just so much of it. We got a glut of it. It's to the point, please stop. I can't take any more. I can't listen to any more records. I can't listen to any more music. I have plenty of that. So, and I think a lot of people are in the same way. They've got access, with Spotify, you got instant music everywhere. So, really, where is the new business model? There you go, right in the palm of your hand there. So the new business model is really about creating an experience, or again, if you're the type of person that has a very interesting lifestyle, people will pay to get involved in that. But so Think is all about creating these new shows. We're actually getting ready. We're going to do an experimentation with a company that has developed shoes that when you put them on, they turn you into a speaker. So
you put on shoes and turn it into a speaker. Oh, yes. My goodness.
Yeah. So this is kind of this whole immersive idea of what kinds of new kind of cool things that we can bring to the experience. So I'm pretty excited about testing that one out. I haven't heard it yet, but I hear they say once you listen to music this way, you never want to listen to music again any other way. So I can't wait to check it out. So that'll be fun. And, we're experimenting. We're working on an AR app. So for augmented reality, building that into the show. So, the real deal is now creating an experience where people can come and kind of have a shared experience, except for right now, since we're in pseudo lockdown on this coronavirus, and we're not having too many shared experiences right now, but they will start up again soon.
And I'm sure it will too. And of course, it's good to share, but not share the coronavirus. So right. I guess just a quick take on the coronavirus. I've heard mixed reviews. I mean, for me, it's just simply just wash your hands and just take care of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting time we live in. Clearly, this is, I think there's going to be a lot of value that comes out of this. To be truthful, I think there's going to be a lot of pluses. I think it's going to. I think we're moving into a new phase of kind of humanity, in the sense that where these viruses now are not going to be as. They weren't spread as easily before, but now we're at a point where we've got this. I know people are hip to CRISPR. CRISPR is, if you want to go up and see it, check that out on Wikipedia, go look it up. But it's kind of now people can get into home DNA sequencing and cloning and stuff because our kits can be done at the house. So we're getting ready to go through a period of time where, we've got this human condition with all these, wonderful people, but then there are those few that are a little twisted and do wacky things. So I think this whole thing's going to be good for us right now to go through it and get on the other side of this, put systems in place. I think it's gonna have a lot of value. I think it's also got value. It's bringing families together again in a way that's really unique. It looks like they're going to be stuck with each other for at least 2 to 4 weeks. So it's an interesting time, and I think for musicians, this is especially rough. Because, cutting all the bars and the hotels, I mean, all the gigs are gone. All our gigs completely vanished. There's not one gig to be had. So I am a little bit concerned about the music community having to go through this because it's a little tough. Most of them are on, live on a pretty tight schedule of keeping revenue coming in and don't really have necessarily a whole lot of savings in the account. So I'm hopeful, though, that we will rally as a community and figure this all out, because this will all pass. It'll all go by, and we'll get through it just like we have with everything else we've ever had to do through the years. So it's an interesting time, but I want to take advantage of it as much as I can to, make stuff. This is a great time to be creative, get back into reading, do some self-learning and things like that. So that's my plan, is to work on my projects, the things that I want to do that I normally can't do because I'm too busy running around, going to meetings and dealing with all kinds of stuff. So it's actually very interesting, this slowdown. Yeah, I think there's actually a lot of positive, a lot of sadness for folks too. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's all rosy, but life isn't perfect. It's right. Remember, we have to deal with whatever we're dealt with.
Exactly. And I read an interesting article about Van Gogh, where he was involved in some business when they had this bubonic plague that spread all over Europe. He was actually confined to a home and made just beautiful paintings. And the paintings he made that were most famous, this is actually a time that he was on shutdown. So if Van Gogh can create beautiful paintings during a shutdown, we can all create something beautiful, just being in the homes right now during this coronavirus.
Yeah, I think the most important thing people will start to wake up. And what I mean by that, I don't mean wake up that like, oh, I got to be prepared. I think it's more about waking up to realizing, I go through this, I have this conversation with people. I try to explain to them, the only thing that's real right now is you and me talking, Mike.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
2 minutes from now is going to be an illusion. 2 minutes from now forward, I mean, you can't do anything. So the only thing that matters is this. So my hope is through all this that we're going through, it'll start taking people to start reflecting inward and starting looking, kind of waking up from the being stuck in the machine, right? Where we got these cell phones in our face all the time. And I think it's really time that we start to put those down and sort of get out there and smell the roses again. So maybe this will be one of those things that'll help us get back into nature. I know I've been taking walks and kind of reflecting on everything. So I hope other people do the same thing. I think it's important.
Mm-hmm. And of course, most importantly, get some exercise, walk your dog, hug your pets, your family, and just or even go for a drive with family as well too. Like go out to a horse. Yes,
absolutely.
Right. And we'll also talk about something of wildlife as well, too. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention The Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with musician Scott Page, also CEO.
What's the name of the show? Wait a minute. What's the name of that show?
The Mike
Wagner Show. Yes,
that's right. Yeah, and taking the Think EXP experience with Scott Page, and we talked about a little bit about wildlife and nature and everything, and also before the whole coronavirus thing came down, you talk about the benefit for Australian wildfires and in LA, and you can just talk about that project and.
Yeah, there's no question. We've been going through quite a wild time in history right now. We just had those massive fires in Australia, which were just, obviously we knew about it here in the States, but I don't think we really realized, a lot of people, how devastating that was. I think they said 1 billion animals were lost. 1 billion, not 1 million, but 1 billion. And so what's happening is a group of friends of mine from Australia we're putting together an event which is called United Mates, where we're kind of bringing the Australian fire people together with the U.S. to deal with all these firefighters that have been affected heavily by this. So we've got a big event that we've got coming up, but it looks like it's actually going to get moved now until September because of the virus and everything that's going on. But we will still continue to kind of promote and work towards that. But we're going to be doing a big event on the Fox movie lot. It's going to be a great event. Goal is to really raise some money to help the firefighters that we're fighting and all these, because a lot of issues came with them. And so we're trying to help that out. So we're excited about doing that. Think we'll be doing that, running and kind of doing most of the music and stuff for that event. So we have that. And then we've also had that coming up, and we're excited about that. But we also have Jazz Fest coming up. But it looks like Jazz Fest might be getting pushed out a few months also. That's one I've been really looking forward to.
It has nothing to do with hurricanes this time.
No hurricanes this time. We're not stopping it because of that. Hopefully this is going to go by pretty quick. Maybe 4 to 6 weeks, we'll start seeing some relief. And, hopefully by, midsummer and stuff, where things will be getting back to normal again. That's our hope. And we'll be able to go do that.
And who'll be featured in the New Orleans Jazz Fest?
Oh, yeah. So it's the Think Band. So the Think Band is actually Think Experience being an immersive company. We also have our band, which is made up of myself, Stephen Perkins from Jane's Addiction. He started that band along with Perry Farrell and Dave Navarro, if you know that band. We've got Kenny Olson from Kid Rock's band. He started the Kid Rock band with Kid Rock years ago. Was also took over, believe it or not, Jimi Hendrix's place in the Hendrix Experience. Toured with them for years, filling that space. Yeah, Kenny's a monster guitar player. You can imagine to fill those shoes is a pretty big deal. We also Derek Day, who is our art. We call him the Art Bird. He's this 25-year-old kid that is just an incredible musician. He's got a very promising solo career right now, and he'll be playing with us. And then Will Champlin, who a lot of people know from The Voice. He was one of the runner-ups on The Voice, but he's a monster keyboard player, singer, guitar player. So he'll be playing with us. And also Tony Franklin, the famous bass player from The Firm, better known as the Fretless Monster. So that's our Think band, and we've been doing our first sort of Think experience we've been doing this last year was a Think Floyd experience. So we've been doing a Pink Floyd kind of immersive show, which has been going really great. We've been enjoying that. So we're going to take that to Jazz Fest this year also. So that's kind of what we have on our agenda for that for right now.
That's amazing, too. And also the Who's Who of Rock Stars. Looks like you made that list.
I did.
Yeah, that's what it says in the Who's Who of Rock Stars. So, yeah, just a lot of them.
Yeah, wow. Well, I had no idea. That's great to know. See, you live and you learn. You're more on top of it than me, brother.
Hey, I learned from the best. What can we say?
There you go.
I'm going to have you as a Who's Who as well, too. So, and of course, you got a lot of projects coming up. And what's coming up in 2020 for you? You know, further down the road and looking at 2021. If you want to do 2022, that's fine, too.
Well, again, thinking about Think Experience, we have a band component, music component, but we're really a business building out these immersive shows, and we're actually working on a show that we're going to be launching next year in March 1st. But we're booked right now, where we're doing a big show, which is it's like if you think about my company, Think is really a combination of Cirque du Soleil meets TED Talks meets Burning Man. So it's really kind of an experience of bringing education and entertainment together. And we're working on a rather large show right now, which is I can't give it away totally yet, but we're mashing some very interesting things together. And I'm working with one of the top Cirque du Soleil directors right now on the show. And it's going to be we're going to be launching it in the most advanced immersive theater in the world, which is actually being built right now, which will be finished in October, November. And we're looking to put it up in Los Angeles, but it may go to Vegas first. So think of it, though. It's an immersive theater dome tent, but it's movable like Cirque du Soleil is. So we can take and move this structure and put it up in places and let shows run there for a couple months at a time. So that's our plan, is we're building that infrastructure now with my friends and my group, my business partners out of Montreal. They all come out of Cirque du Soleil. They're out of that thing. So we're really looking at the immersive entertainment space, and that's our big show that we're working on. Myself and Steve Perkins are producing that together, and we're actually building it all out right now, and with the hope that we'll hit March 1st and be ready to roll with this very exciting show that we're putting together.
It sounds really exciting. Looking forward to that as well, too. And, of course, I'll talk about a couple of things as well, too. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention The Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. Oh, I forgot to show this to you, by the way, didn't we? All right, we're here with CEO of Think EXP, Scott Page, also saxophonist with Pink Floyd, Supertramp, totally. Not to mention Quincy Jones as well, too. It's like, how in the world could I forget Quincy Jones?
Well, yeah, Quincy is interesting. I was very fortunate. We had started a joint venture with Quincy called QD7 back in the day, and I actually had the pleasure of working on a CD-ROM with Quincy, where I was actually getting to produce him. So believe it or not, I got to produce Quincy Jones doing an interactive CD-ROM title called Music and Man, which was the history of music through the eyes of Quincy Jones. So I got a real good chance to work with Q. He's one of my all-time favorite people. I think one of the things about Quincy is I've actually learned more about life from Quincy than even music. He's one of those really rare, unique individuals that when everybody will say this that's ever had contact and dealt with him, it's like when you have a conversation with Q, his attention with you is so extraordinary. He completely is there with you. He is so present that presence in communications it's extraordinary. You feel like, wow, somebody's actually really paying attention to you and listening to you at a different level. And it's one of the gifts that he has. And I remember I was in Las Vegas. I hadn't seen Q for a few years, and it was during Comdex or CES, the big CES show. And somebody said, "Oh, Quincy's going to be announcing a project over here." So I thought I'd go over and see him because I heard it was like 2:00, be at this booth, and he's going to be there. So I decided to go over and see him because I hadn't seen him in a while. I walked over there, and I was standing in the crowd while this was going on. He noticed me. He looked at me, and the place basically stopped. And he just came over to me and had the most incredible conversation where everything else stopped, but his presence was there to communicate with you. And it just made me realize how important that is when we're talking to people, we're communicating with people, to really give them your full attention. And it's a very powerful thing. I mean, it's not only respectful in that, but it's also very powerful from a business point of view, because that connecting with somebody at that level starts to create that relationships. And as we know that every business, everything you do is based on relationships. So Quincy was one of those guys that was really valuable in lessons about life and business that are really hard to explain. Truly a remarkable man, for sure. An incredible talent. I mean, when you look at what he's been able to accomplish, it's extraordinary, for sure. Crazy. Love Quincy. Love that guy.
And what did you learn from him as well, too? You talk about life experiences when it comes to lessons. What did you learn from him?
Well, just how to treat people, and how to communicate with people, and how to give people. I mean, he was incredible at delegating, right? He's really good at that, and that's one of the things he does so well, is he knows how to bring the right teams. And probably the biggest thing, and I asked Quincy, I said, "Gosh, Quincy," I said, "it's got to be really something, having all the success." And he said to me this: "It's really simple." He said, "It's just knowing who to call."
And
who to call.
Right. And I think that's important. Know who to call. And it seems like a lot of people don't know how to do that these days. And of course, with the whole coronavirus, now they go back to just simply pick up the phone, like on a landline, you dial, or you go to a neighbor's house and ask for something. I remember back then, you just deliver some apple pie to a neighbor, or ask, some kids, "Hey, can Johnny come play?" Or, they used to let a cat or a dog out just to greet you and say hi. That sort of thing just kind of makes me go back to the days. It's like, forget phones like these devices. It's like, just go back to like the way it was.
Yeah. Well, that's not going to happen now. The genie's out of the bottle now when you look at the internet and what that's doing. So everybody thought all this communications, it was going to be great. Yes, it's great, but they didn't realize sort of the downside of really seeing humanity at its finest. Because I mean, we're seeing stuff, it really is amazing, actually, when I look out there and I see what they call sort of the woke culture, which is supposedly everybody's so kind and giving and, caring about everything. We have to wake up because we got to take care of the planet, and everybody, love everybody, all our neighbors, everything. And yet when you go on their sites, you'll never seen so much hate speech in my entire life. That comes out of the same people that are supposed to be so aware and so woke, mainly towards our political system and about the government or about the president and things like that. And it's really sad to see this type of behavior. But hey, it's where we are as a society right now. And maybe in hopeful some of these things that force people to start taking a look and going, hey, how entitled are humans, right? When you get down to it, because at the end of the day, what makes us more entitled than that dog, the cat, the tree, the flower, or anything else in the big picture when you take a look at it? So maybe this wake-up call we're going through will make people realize that, Nature is a much bigger thing. We don't have to save the world. The world's fine. The world, nothing's going to happen. It's been spinning for 4.5 billion. It's going to keep on spinning. Whether humans are here, that's a different story. Humans may go away, but in the big picture, does it really matter? Do humans need to be here to really? I mean, really? Why? So I get it. Our ego says, yes, we're so important. But, maybe people start to realize with all this going on that they've got to start looking inward and just being more kind to everybody and realizing that everybody does the best they can. And we should be supporting the people that are helping us right now, the military, the police, the people, instead of tearing them down, which we're seeing so much, and especially beating up the president. I mean, it's just insane to do that. It just shows how sad that is because, listen, the guy's doing everything he can right now to help us. We know that's the case. He's got incredible teams of people around him. We just got to stop beating him up. He's who we have right now. We need to all rally together and try to support the organization for better, for worse, the good, the bad, because let's face it, it isn't a perfect world. We just got to make sure we do the best we can for the most amount of people that we possibly can and hopefully keep moving towards a positive direction. So I urge everybody out there, please, next time you go to write that horrible thing that you want to say because you're mad, don't do it. Don't do it. Be supportive. We need to support these folks and just realize that, put the mirror up and realize we all have our own things that we all do. So as we start looking at ourselves more in a we fashion, it's really a we first model, not so much me, I think that's important to start thinking. So hopefully with all this going on right now, this will be, it'll start to shake itself out.
Mm-hmm. And also too, you talk about some of the simpler things in life. You also as well too, and you also had a really good upbringing too, like from your dad, Bill Page. He a saxophone player like you, play with reed player Lawrence Welk, Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. I mean, this is going to sound amazing. I enjoy Lawrence Welk, and you know something? I enjoy it even more when he was born in Strasburg, North Dakota, where I'm currently living in Bismarck. Wow. And you know something, too? It's like I haven't been there yet, but I plan on it. The story was just amazing. He was like 11 of 12 kids. They had very little to eat, and just they created their own music. And he was actually very strict on just doing things. And, it's just,
very strict. Lawrence was very strict. Tough guy, tough businessman. Very tough, but very savvy. I mean, he was savvy. I mean, he owned virtually that whole strip of land right there in Santa Monica, the main drag of Santa Monica, all the hotels. He bought all that up. He was a very, very savvy very tough businessman. I grew up on that show. My dad was on that show for 15 years. So my whole childhood was on Lawrence Welk. Basically, I grew up in that thing. And here's my claim to fame. I am the only person in the entire world out of 6 billion people that have played on the Lawrence Welk Show and played with Pink Floyd.
Really? Oh, my gosh, that's a good trivia question.
There you go. The only guy on the planet that's done both, right? Now, that's a pretty trippy, right?
Hey, you know what? Here's something to your Think EXP project. Lawrence Welk experience with the Pink Floyd experience.
Oh, there you go. That's actually funny. Nash and Floyd and Lawrence Welk.
And a 1 and a 2.
Yeah. Well, see, what happens is that way you get both audiences, the young and the old.
Oh, there you go.
That's funny.
Well, let's work on it afterwards as well, too. And, of course, we talked about your upcoming plans for 2020 and 2021. We've had gone over that and just a couple more things. What's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point once again?
Best advice, for me, I think is it depends on what. Let's not music advice. That's just, you got to practice, go study, listen for the masters, spend time, go deep on one guy, learn all the subtleties. But I think more important, the bigger lesson is the one that we all have to learn, which we're all getting into, is we just got to start looking inward more and start trying to be more helpful with everybody around us and be more kind. I think kindness is really, really important, and being grateful. So if I could tell anybody, especially everybody here, they're listening on a phone or a television or a computer or some way they're getting this information. So chances are they're probably one of the fortunate that have been able to make their life decent. And so I'm hopeful that those people will help becoming more awake and more aware and realize that we just got to be more kind to more people and be kind to everyone. And remember, everybody does the best they can. Again, the only thing's real is you and me talking 2 minutes ago is illusion. Time is an illusion. So the only thing that matters is the step we're taking right now. So as long as you maintain that uplifting moment at every step that you're taking, how am I feeling? What am I going? Don't let your mind take you over, create all these insanity things, because I could be suffering right now, worrying about the coronavirus, worrying about what's going to happen. Oh my God, no money, things are going to fall apart. And the reality is I'm sitting here talking to Mike on the show. So in reality, everything is okay. So my thing is, start taking an inward journey and start, learning about who you are and what really matters. Because you're going to blink, you'll be 50. You're going to blink, you're going to be on your deathbed. So good to get to it now before it's too late.
And I'm blinking right now, taking in the experience as well, too. Scott, once again, a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. And also, once again, Scott Pate, CEO of Think Experience here on the Mike Wagner Show. Once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, and where can people, check out your works, and also the upcoming benefit for Australian wildfires, and also the New Orleans Jazz Fest.
Well, yes, everything is a little bit moved. It's being postponed out of the Jazz Fest, the Australian Fire, which we spoke about earlier. So right now, until we find out, I don't really have any confirmed dates on anything, but we'll be coming back. It's Think Experience, Think EXP. You can go to thinkexp.co.co, and that's the website. And then you can always find me. Mine is I am Scott Page. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of them. So just I am Scott Page is my standard thing. Come hit me up, message me, tell me you saw me on the Mike Wagner Show, and then we'll chat, and then we'll go from there. Anyway, it's beautiful. Thank you very much, Mike.
That was great. Thank you very much, Scott. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon, and definitely before 2020. And keep us up to date. I love to hear what you got and take it in the experience.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody out there. Nice meeting you all.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.